Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Heart of Sports with Jason Springer and Jeff Cohen. We are thrilled to join you on 610 ESPN, ready to help you move into the weekend talking about all the news in the world of sports. Jeff will have Kacper Przybylko from the Philadelphia Union joining us in about 10 minutes.
Well done.
You were just happy that I didn't butcher his name there.
Well, to be fair, you've had two different shows to be able to pronounce it correctly.
I may or may not have been practicing in the car on the way over. Separately.
I would have paid to see that.
I know, right? I didn't want to sound as dumb as I do sound sometimes. You ever listen back to yourself and realize, like, why did I say that? Or
no.
do you just not listen back because you don't want to be like, why did I say that?
No, I always know that I'm saying the right thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Positive.
Hey, look, I was the guy who's been saying for 2 years now, be patient with Mickey Moniak, correct?
Oh, we're starting off the show
That's right.
this week.
We talked about it pre-show, so I figure, might as well bring it up. For those out there, Mickey Moniak was just named the Eastern League All-Star for the season. And he's still one of the youngest players in Double-A.
You like being proven right. Can we talk about player development in the NFL to start the show?
Sure.
It's the preseason. Are you excited? Week 3 last night.
You're not even waiting for my answer.
Nope.
Because you know what it is.
Didn't really care.
This is ridiculous.
Why are they still playing these games?
I don't know. It's literally a war of attrition. Every time somebody gets hurt, you're just going, what's the point? So we can decide who the last 3 roster spots on a team are?
Okay, well, it's funny you say that because I will be interested
That's not that
to
funny.
see.
I'm being serious.
You will know whether the preseason actually mattered for the Eagles by whether Greg Ward, Deshaun Hall, and like a third player end up making the roster,
right,
or not. Because
and look, I'm sure the parents are really happy, but do you care?
I actually think that Greg Ward has some potential. I'd like to know why they're not putting Greg Ward out back there to return punts and kicks.
No, but okay, so those are the last 3 roster spots.
Yes, I do care.
You're not an Eagles coach, and you're saying, okay, Greg Ward should make the team. Do we need 4 preseason games for that to be happening?
No.
Let's just put Jason on the sideline. Pick him.
But there's a third preseason game last night, suspended for lightning. How much of the game...
For lack of interest is what it was suspended for. Yeah.
How much of the game did Jeff Cohen watch last night?
First quarter.
First quarter?
Yeah.
That's more than I thought.
Well, what else is there to watch? I'm not watching for who the 51st guy is on the roster.
You missed the actual interesting stuff.
What was the actual interesting stuff?
Arcega-Whiteside actually played well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Against who?
I understand.
Against
their first team defense at time, actually.
Come on. Really?
Yes. Not scheming.
Are you telling me that was the entire first team defense?
No, but
it wasn't.
I think you can look at players and say they belong out on the field and they don't.
I think you can do that by practice.
That's a different question.
I think you can do that by the 4 years of video if you have them in college.
I'm not debating the merits of whether or not there should be a games anymore. I'm just saying there was
a game. So you don't want to debate sports issues on a sports show?
No, I agree with you that they shouldn't have all those preseason games. So I'm not really arguing with her. It's kind of a boring debate if we're both on the same side.
Oh, I'm preaching to the choir.
Sure.
Okay.
Take the lead on
Go
that
ahead.
one. I was saying there was an actual preseason football game last night.
Where?
In the link. The same place the women's soccer team are going to play next week.
I'd rather watch it. Well, I definitely would rather watch that than a preseason football game. I'd rather watch that most things. They're really good.
They are. But can we talk a little bit about what you're seeing with the Eagles team right now? So
Nothing.
Nate Sudfeld out with surgery. Cody Kessler, I don't know if he's going to make this roster at this point. Josh McCown comes out of retirement at ESPN to go like 16 of 20, and
he got himself a couple $1 million guaranteed.
He did.
Apparently, he got a lot more than ESPN was paying him.
Yeah,
because if he was getting paid the same thing, which would you prefer?
No, I mean I'd sit in a booth and not get hit. I totally.
Plus, he's got that nice hairdo that he's got to protect.
Oh, look at you! I think you're jealous. Are you jealous of his hair?
No, I have my hair. That's what
you think everything is a slight against you. Like I say something and it's like it's an attack on you. Yeah. All right, Eagles are 1-2 in the preseason. Do you care?
No.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, you know what? There's something that I do want to discuss briefly. So before the game, there was actually on one of the 17 ESPN stations
we're on ESPN.
I didn't say that it was bad to have them.
I
wish they would have the Ocho for more than one day, actually.
Oh, I watched that.
Well, yeah, but why did they have it on the 7th instead of the 8th? We're getting sidetracked.
What do I know?
They actually had they had fantasy football and they also had gambling recommendations for preseason football. Now
that's why I was surprised they didn't resume the game, by the way, because I figured for gambling they would have to finish the game.
Here's what I have to say about that. Anybody that lost money on betting the Eagles preseason game, deserves to lose double.
So I'm just going to say this.
I know.
I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Because
why?
As somebody who has lost money on previous preseason games.
Come on.
At a time in my life when that's what I was doing. When I was doing
No.
betting,
Look, I'm all good with that. You cannot tell me that you bet on preseason football games.
Why can't I?
Because even I thought more of you than that.
I'm sorry. I bet on pretty much anything that there was at the time.
How do you bet on a preseason football game?
The same way you do a regular football game. You put money down and then you hold your breath and it pays off.
But the assumption in a regular football game is that all the players are going to play unless they get injured.
I did not say it was a wise choice.
You have no idea who's coming in. You just know they're really bad.
Again, I didn't say that it was something that was smart to do. I'm just saying back in the day when I was gambling at that time, it didn't matter to me what kind. Football was football.
Is that when you knew you hit rock bottom?
No, when I owed a lot of money was when I knew that I hit rock bottom.
See,
sorry,
I don't know what to say anymore.
Just being honest.
I think the show's over.
just being honest.
Drop the mic right there.
Did you watch last night the running backs? Any thoughts of them? I'm leaving the gambling there because it's not going to go anyplace.
No,
You're going to be like, really, you did that? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Carson Wentz looked great.
So, all right.
On the sideline.
Did you watch?
He didn't get hurt.
Did you watch the Carolina Panthers game last night?
No.
Did you see Cam Newton in a walking boot because he hurt his foot?
You just asked me if I watched the game. I said no, right? And then you said, did you see him get hurt?
I
wouldn't have seen him get hurt if I didn't watch the game.
You follow Twitter. You could have seen the pictures without seeing the game. Anyway, he hurt his foot.
I purposely
in a preseason game that we've all admitted means nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine with them not playing Carson Wentz, especially if not all of your offensive line is going to play. I don't see why people have such an issue
There's
with that.
only one person that I really wish was playing right now. Actually, two.
Who?
Antonio Brown.
Okay.
Because I want to see somebody just go after him.
Did you see what John Gruden said?
And Ezekiel Elliott. We're
going to get to him later.
Okay,
Did you see what John Gruden said
say this time?
So Antonio Brown was, I guess, with all the foot issues and peeling that he's had, he had to take his...
And he wants us to believe that's why he was holding
on Hard Knocks, he had to take his socks off because he said that it was burning.
Yeah.
And Gruden said, maybe you should try cryotherapy.
Was he joking?
I don't know. Freeze it back up. Let's go back to
that was one of the nastiest pictures I ever saw. Was of his feet.
It was gross. Let's go back to the Eagles roster. Corey Clement going to be the fourth back on this team.
Who are going to be the first three?
Sanders, Howard, Sproles.
Not in that order.
And then Corey Clement.
Howard should be the starter.
I don't think so.
Are you serious?
I think that in this offense, by a few weeks in, Sanders will be the starter. And
Wait,
Howard
Sanders is a rookie.
I understand that.
There is no way Doug Peterson is starting game one with Sanders as the starter.
I didn't say game one. I said a few weeks in.
Yeah.
I think he will overtake Howard as the workhorse on this team.
No way.
We'll see.
No way.
I just think they think very highly. I think they think very highly of him and Arcega-Whiteside, both of them. And
I think you think highly of Arcega-Whiteside.
I do.
Yeah.
I think very highly of him. You can see that he knows how to run
Jordan Howard
routes.
Is a good running back.
You're preaching to the choir here.
Why did you take him on your fantasy team?
I've had him for years. I don't have him this year, but I've wanted him.
Did you already have your draft?
2 drafts. Yes, I'm in multiple fantasy leagues.
So how many are you in total?
I'll be in 3 total. And
so you have one more draft.
And no, none of them have you. I know you wanted to join. Sorry.
That's fine. So just don't give me a hard time that I'm not in anymore.
For our listeners, Jeff has finally decided he's ready to come over to the fantasy dark side.
Back to it.
And
I took a couple of years off.
And he asked me about joining a league, and they were all
he said
full.
no.
They were all full.
No, that's not true.
It's not like
What do you mean they're all full? What would have happened if there was another team?
It's not like I can toss people
What does that mean, they're all full?
That there's a certain amount of teams in the league, and all of them have owners.
What would have happened?
I have no idea.
You just would have gotten less good players.
Did you watch the offensive
line?
line?
And then you would have have Greg Ward on your team as your 17th.
I didn't get
whatever position he's going to play this year.
I did not get Greg Ward Jr. Did you watch the offensive line last night at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the first quarter.
I think Dillard looks pretty good, by the way, as a rookie again.
All
right. So
you're very high on the rookies.
I am. I actually think they had a pretty good draft class this year. I mean, Dillard had some penalties, but the whole game was sloppy. You ready to talk some soccer?
I am.
All right, Kacper Przybylko, are you there with us?
I think Kacper just answered. Kacper, are you ready? Kacper, are you ready to talk some soccer?
I'm ready.
Thank you so much for joining us. Exciting weekend. Back at it against DC United. Tell us a little bit of what it's been like these last couple of weeks with the team as you guys push towards the playoffs here.
Yeah, I mean, like we were doing so well, like during the whole season. So it's gonna be like very interesting, especially like that time right now. Like the Washington is coming. We played a great game against them. We've been there. So tomorrow everyone is on fire. Just to do the same like we did like in the NBC.
All right. Well, Kacper, before we talk about the real soccer games, there's a big battle.
Okay.
There's a rumor that there is a big battle going on within the union between you and Harris Medunjanin at the pool table.
Is this true?
What is it, like a big what?
That you and Harris Medunjanin are playing pool or billiards a lot, and that there's like a season-long battle.
Yeah, we started playing like I don't know, like 2 or 3 months ago, and we do it like all the time. Like before practice, we play one round, and after practice, we play the second round. But he's so amazing in this game. He's professional. I think he could after he retires in soccer, he can play like pool professional because he's so good. But I'm so ambitious, and I hope I will beat him this season once, and I would be happy about that.
Has anybody on the team beaten him this year?
To be honest, I don't know. Like I think I'm the only one who's playing against him. But he was also so great in table tennis. We also had our like ping pong table in our locker room, and he was beating everyone. And now we switched to pool, and he's still destroying everyone, like in every kind of sport.
All right. So who's the most competitive guy on the union off the soccer field?
Off the soccer field, like I mean, like Harris.
Harris. he's all about it.
No, I mean we become also like good friends, but like he's really good, like in almost everything.
I was gonna say, can you talk about the importance of that? We often look at the play of people on the field, but the camaraderie of the team off the field. Can you talk about how important those relationships are to becoming the team that you guys have been on the pitch this season?
Can you repeat it again? Because like it was very quiet.
Can you talk about how important it is off the field to develop those relationships with your teammates? We often look at how the team plays on the field, but those relationships.
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, it depends. I had also like players that they were like fighting beside the field, but on the field they've become like a family. So I think in the end it's just being professional on the field and off the field. I mean, it's also like it's a good sign if you have like a good relationship to all your teammates beside the field. And this is what I appreciate here, because everyone is good with everyone. That's why I enjoy all the time, like coming every morning in the locker room, smiling with everyone. There's like a good atmosphere. I appreciate it, but in the end, it doesn't matter if you're just good with him beside the field or on the field. Like, you have to be professional. This is what we do every day. We prepare for the game, and then should work like on the field.
All right. So you mentioned that you see a lot of your teammates smiling when you come into the locker room. Can you tell us if
I have a big smile when I step in the locker room, because I already see like some guys joking there, and I know already what's going on there. So it's like a great atmosphere. I appreciate it here.
All right. So the real question then is do you ever see Coach Curtin smiling?
Of course.
He smiles. He smiled when we did our interview with him.
Yeah, I'm not on the pitch. You don't see him smiling very often.
No, he's serious.
Yeah, I mean, no, I've seen him smiling like a couple of times.
Well, some of the goals you've scored, that definitely puts a smile on his face. Can you talk about?
I hope.
You're somebody who played over in Europe and you've played here in the MLS. There's been a lot of talk about the differences between the leagues and the games. Can you talk a little bit about that for our listeners? What some of the differences between playing here in the MLS, playing over in Europe?
To be honest, like when I was like thinking about America, there was like all these prejudices about America, like it was underrated. Everyone just told me like it's so bad, don't go there. I came here just also like for the beginning, just to say hello, just to do also my trial here, and I was impressed when I saw also like my teammates who I'm playing with right now, about this all, like everything around, like the complex, the stadium. It's so nice. It's so professional. that I really like. That I said like, yeah, I need to go there. Like, I need to be here because everything was like perfect. And yeah, most of the guys like in Germany and Europe, they underestimate like the league. They think it's going to be so easy. And then I had my first game, and then I realized, oh no, it's not. There are a lot of like individual good guys, but also like it's very physical here. So if anybody would ever just talk about the MLS, that it's like a weak league, I would never say that again.
What was your experience like when you first came to Philadelphia? Was it what you expected? Was it better? What was it like?
First experience when I came was the weather. It was so hot and humid. I just stepped out of the airport. I was immediately sweating. I just thought like, what's going on here? I thought like Philadelphia is like a little bit more colder than like in Germany where I'm living. And I just stepped out. I was totally wet. That was my first impression like about the weather. And then, of course, all these big streets, big houses, skyscrapers. I came here, I was just impressed about the skyline. And, that was like my first impression of Philadelphia. It was like a wow effect.
And so what's the food that you like most from Philadelphia?
Jeff asked the hard-hitting questions.
Philadelphia?
Yes.
I mean, there's like a bunch of great food here, but I love sushi, so that's why I've been here like most of the time, like in some sushi spots.
Nice.
And yesterday I tried the first sushi in the Fat Salmon here in Philly. It was so delicious. One of the best sushi I've ever tried in my life.
Very nice. Now you guys will be back at Talent Energy Stadium this Saturday night for the game against DC United. We've seen the atmosphere down there this year. Can you talk about that a little bit in the Sons of Ben and what it's like for the players there to have those fans there?
Oh, wow, that's really great. Like last home game, it was amazing atmosphere in the stadium. It's almost sold out. I don't know if it was sold out, but everyone was just like celebrating with us when we scored the goal, and that's the reason why I play soccer. I mean, like my job is like to score goals, and in the end, it's also important like to collect these 3 points. But in the end, it's such a great feeling when. It doesn't matter if I score the goal or if some of my teammates score the goal. It's just like a great feeling that everyone celebrates together. And I like also the Duke song here. So every time when I'm playing home, I just want to not only me, but like I just want like if someone scores a goal because I want to celebrate with all these fans and this fucking great Duke song.
Do you ever listen to some of the things that the Sons of Ben fans say to some of the other the other guys?
No.
Jeff,
we'll fill you in sometime.
Yeah, we'll fill you in one day. Jeff went out there and he was impressed with some of their chants. You mentioned the celebrations. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. Ali Bedoya a few weeks ago against DC United made a statement about gun control. Which was supported by the team and the players. The following week, you scored your goal and held up the "Oh Captain, My Captain" shirt. He didn't seem to know about that. Can you talk to us a little bit about athletes using that platform and your support and the team's support for Ali over it?
I mean, it's a great thing what he just did like against DC. I just realized it like after the game because I didn't know that he was like saying something like that, and then I also heard about it and I was like impressed that he was thinking about it because it's like a big issue here in America, and I support him in every kind of way what he's doing about that. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a soccer player or not. Like we should just think about it, and I'm just impressed of this guy that he really like. Just try to change something here about this kind of topic.
Kacper, you've become one of a handful of people in the history of the Union that scored more than 10 goals in the regular season. What do you attribute your goal scoring ability to and your improvement?
Like how I scored. What do you mean about exactly the question again?
So you've now scored more than 10 goals. There's very few people in Union history that have done that. Well, how have you improved to become the goal scorer that you've been, the leading goal scorer on this team?
I mean, it was a big fight in the beginning. I had like a lot of competition, like especially like in my position. We had a lot of strikers in the beginning of the season, in the preseason, and I knew I had to fight for my place here. And now I'm just happy that I really like fight it for it, and because it's for every striker, like being in that kind of team, it's like a dream because you get so many opportunities, so many chances to score a goal, and I just wanted say thanks to everyone like who's believing in me and giving me that trust, or to the coaches, to my teammates, to all these supporters here, fans, everyone around. Just to say thank you for the support and for the trust, and that's my job. I mean, I strike, I have to score, but I'm also happy that it's going so well for the team, also for myself. But it's a hard work. Like I have to work like every day for it.
Can you talk about what it's been like to be with players like Brendan Aronson and the younger guys that are coming through the Union Academy, and how important that is for the long-term success of this team to grow their own young players?
Brendan Aronson is such a young, talented guy in our team, and he also deserves this kind of minutes that he got already, like in this season, and he's doing so well. And it's also important, like I think also for the club, that they educate also a lot of young people, like homegrown players, and I hope that they will find much more players like Brendan Aronson, because he's doing so well. And he's also one of the biggest faces right now for Philadelphia Union. I'm just happy for him, because he's also like working hard every day, and he just deserves that.
So how excited are you for the playoff push?
I'm very excited, but it's still not that close. Like it's still like a long way to the playoffs, because we have like 7 games left, and we need like to fight for every point just to get like a great position at the table in the end of the season, and hopefully we will just win also like a couple of games to play our first round at home. And I can't wait like for the game for tomorrow, and you're just talking about the playoffs, so I'm so excited about tomorrow. But I hope that we will collect some points to have like a great position in the end of the season.
Well, we can't wait to see you and the team tomorrow, and hope you can keep collecting those points to get a home game. That would be crazy to see the stadium rocking for a playoff game there. We wish you the best of luck and look forward to continue following the team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will just tell them, and sorry for my English. I hope you everyone understood what I wanted to say.
Oh, you did.
Thanks for the great interview.
You did great. Thank you so much, Kacper. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Jeff, I always love talking to the players. You can send...
It really is. It's such a good group of guys, and it's such a, soccer is probably one of the most diverse growing sports in America, and maybe around the world. And it's amazing how guys from different walks of life and different corners of the earth can all come together and be able to communicate in the language they play, and be able to get along, as he said, and thrive. And this team, I mean, I can't tell you how many different countries they have players from, and they all seem to mesh. They don't have a Zlatan, right? But they have a bunch of really great players who the sum is greater than the parts. That's kind of what you want, right?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Can we go back to our previous discussion on gambling for a second?
Why? Do you want to bet me?
So no, that's what my fraternity brother said. Like right after I quit gambling, they were so supportive.
He wanted to bet you.
I'll bet you won't stop betting. Apparently, see, we're open with each other on the radio for everybody. Apparently, my mom, who listens to the show, didn't know that I bet on preseason games. So I got a text message during the interview saying that she just learned that. So
Mom Jason, turn off the radio.
Yeah, no, like she was never a fan of the fact that I had that departure in my life to go down the gambling trail. But apparently we made news from Mom today, so thank
there you go. Anytime. Is there anything else you want to confess to?
Nope, I'm good.
All right,
I'm good now.
Okay.
That's all I want to talk about on the air. Let's stay at Lincoln Financial Field. We are going to be down there next Thursday night. A little soccer for the women's national team coming in. Little soccer. They're going to be huge. They're going to break the record for the most people attending a women's friendly. They've already sold over 44,000 tickets.
seats. Yeah.
Your thoughts on their tour, what's going on? Are you excited to be there? I know you're more excited than the preseason games.
I can't tell you how excited I hear other people are. I mean, look, I'm excited. We've had Julie Ertz on the show. We've had Carly Lloyd on the show. We've had Sammy Mewis on the show. We've even had J.P. Delacamera, who called the game, on the show to talk about it. And it's hard not to root for this group of people. They're so good at what they do, and they're such a likable group. But this means more than, again, just this game. I mean, I was away on vacation last week.
I forgot to ask you about that.
No, but my point is, I was with some relatives who are huge fans, and it's amazing to see how much pride, not just girls, boys have in this team, and how much the possibility exists to grow the game on the women's side. And I think that this group of people, we always talk, they've talked about it since I was a kid. Yes, since I watched Pele, about growing the game of soccer.
I wasn't even going to make a comment there.
Well, I figured I'd cut it off at the pass. But
you decided to drop a line there.
No, but I think the MLS is continuing to grow, and people like Kacper are a reason for that. And I think on the women's side, the same potential exists. And this tour, I hope, is just the beginning, not the end.
Well, you saw they moved the game in New Jersey from
Red Bull Stadium?
Rutgers up to the Red Bull
Rutgers.
Stadium. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're definitely trying to grow the league.
Wait, hold on a second. Rutgers football, where was it? Rutgers football stadium?
No, Yersak Field.
Okay.
It seats like 5,000, and so they
what does Rutgers football hold? 7?
Oh God, I dislike you so much.
I think it holds more than that. The question is, how many people are there by halftime?
I really dislike you when we talk about football for colleges, because you have a good team and I don't.
What was it? 2 weeks ago, you had bragging rights on who had the nicer locker room.
That's true. For about 10 minutes, I had bragging rights on Rutgers. Then we went back to reality.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit? Let's go back to MLS, because you talk about what the women's league needs to keep growing. Mm-hmm. The men's league awarded a couple more franchises this week, and they're getting a lot of celebrity investors.
St. Louis, and what was the other one?
Texas.
Oh, I didn't hear about the Texas one.
They have a team in Texas, and Matthew McConaughey.
Where? They already have a team in Houston.
I think it's Dallas. Matthew McConaughey is going to be an investor in that.
Well, there's also
the Seattle team. You have Ciara and Russell Wilson. And
don't forget that Miami's going to get a team when they can find a non-toxic site.
Details. But if they get a few more celebrity owners, they can do like a celebrity soccer game at their All-Star game for the owners. It could be like a celebrity owner game.
Yeah, well, you better have a celebrity hamstring expert.
I think it's
to take care of all the people that'll get hurt.
I think it's important for those leagues, though, as they continue to grow, to get this buy-in from outside investors and people that will mainstream it more. When you're marketing in Texas, having Matthew McConaughey isn't a bad idea for the locals. They know that. Nationally, people know that. So I think it's good for marketing for them to continue to have.
Are they all going to be driving Lincolns on their way into the game?
I knew you were going to say something. Why don't we hit the break? When we come back, I want to talk about the dumpster fire that is the Dallas Cowboys way of handling it.
I don't think it's a dumpster fire. I think it's awesome.
Well, you do. Stick with us. We'll come right back.
Sports lets people live their dreams, overcome obstacles, and achieve goals. But what's your unimaginable? Do you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself? To push your limits? The A-Fatty clothing brand believes we're all capable of going far beyond we previously imagined, to overcome your obstacles and achieve your goals. Life gives you the chance to push harder, to dream bigger, and to do whatever it takes to conquer the unimaginable, and to do it with A-Fatty On You, the original street leisure clothing brand.
Taking you into the weekend with the latest news in the world of sports, with the biggest names on and off the field. It's the Heart of Sports each and every Friday at 4 p.m. on 610 ESPN, with former players, reporters, and commentators like Adam Schefter, John Runyon, Keith Jones, Trey Thomas, and Doug Glanville. Jason Springer and Jeff Cohen cover the agony and ecstasy of fandom while weaving in conversations about the impact of sports on society. That's the Heart of Sports, Fridays at 4 p.m. Welcome back to the Heart of Sports with Jason Springer and Jeff Cohen. Jeff, do you want to tell the listeners how I was wrong again?
What about where the teams are going to be?
Yeah, Tyler, who's hanging out in the studio, the Texas team's in Austin.
Yeah, they already have Dallas FC and the Houston Dynamo, so it's going to be in Austin.
Mistake. Normally, I don't catch it till afterwards and have to wait a whole week.
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have a segment after extra time.
Jason's
that's going to
mistakes?
be mistake time.
What did I screw up today?
Yes.
Error
time?
Can we stay in Texas for a few minutes?
No.
No. Let's do it.
You can go to Napa.
How about them Cowboys?
That's right. How about them Cowboys, Jeff? Who needs Zeke Elliott? Zeke who? Tell me what's going on with the Cowboys right now.
The amazing part of Jerry Jones is the sheer arrogance with which he says things. So this is his star player. Look, I want Ezekiel Elliott out of the game as much as possible, right? We want the Cowboys to stink. I think that's something the whole country can come together
Other
around.
than Dallas fans.
Other than Dallas fans,
people agree that Dallas should stink.
But to say, okay, so he was asked a question about Zeke Elliott, who's holding out for those that don't know it, and for some reason Zeke's decided that he's going to the islands instead of being where he should be practicing. And he's holding out, and they ask him, Jerry Jones, a question, and he says, Zeke who? Now, Zeke and his agent both say, or get the word out, that he's offended by this. And Jerry Jones, who's trying to sign him, and probably, if he's a good negotiator, wants to sign him for as little as he can get away with signing him, instead of finding a way to lower the volume on it, says he's earned the right to disrespect him. Based on what, Jerry? Is it because it's not based on you being a great owner? Well, I'll give him. He made a lot of money, and from what it seems is it's because Daddy had a lot of money. But he's got a lot of money. He can do what he wants with the team. But what he hasn't done is won. Ever since his former coach left, Jimmy Johnson, he hasn't won.
Barry Switzer.
No, come on.
With Jimmy Johnson.
Barry Switzer came in and inherited something that was impossible
to lose with. Do not make me
with.
defend Dallas on the show. I refuse to do that.
But since that time, several decades ago,
so tell me,
they've stunk.
How is Dak Prescott now involved with this whole thing?
Because supposedly Elliott's new trainer has decided to, who happens to appears to be Marshall Faulk.
This keeps getting weirder.
Decides to say that if the Cowboys sign Dak Prescott, the quarterback that would be handing off to Ezekiel Elliott, that if the Cowboys sign him, he's going to be a, quote, bum, end quote.
I'm sure that'll go over well in the locker room.
Yeah. What's the point of that? And then he says that Elliott should be upset that they signed Jaylen Brown to an extension before they signed him. Isn't what players normally say when somebody else signs a long-term deal it's usually I'm happy for that he's gotten what he's entitled to.
Because they want to get paid.
Right. You don't say that I'm jealous that one of my teammates got it. It doesn't make sense to me. So there isn't a lot of cohesiveness in that locker room. They may want to start playing some ping pong and billiards themselves together.
You think he misses playing time? You think he misses regular season games?
No, I think he walks in a week beforehand. So next week sometime he'll show up, and it's just like Antonio Brown. This is all a game to avoid preseason. Nobody wants to do the OTAs. Nobody wants to do the preseason. Nobody wants to do the workouts. They'll all work out with their trainers, and they'll show up. And for a running back, it's fine. It's not like Elliott is going to miss a beat if he shows up a week before.
It does look like Melvin Gordon may not show up. It looks like he may hold out a little bit in San Diego.
He's got no leverage.
That's it, none.
He has zero leverage. They have Aaron Ekeler there. The running backs are, unfortunately for them, a dime a dozen. You keep seeing guys replacing other guys, except for the Giants who decide they're going to blow their first-round pick on someone. And trust me, Saquon Barkley is awesome, but that wasn't what they needed at the time.
But they have Daniel Jones now.
So that's where you're going to go?
They're the savior. I told you off the
savior,
air.
Daniel Jones.
The best tweet I saw in picture, it was Daniel Jones with a media scrum around him and Eli changing his shoes next to him. And the tweet was the star quarterback for the Giants and some guy putting on his shoes. It was
who was Eli?
It was highly entertaining to me. Let's talk other football stuff. Is Carly Lloyd
Wait, do we not want to talk about Antonio Brown?
I'll get there.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get there.
You want to get to the real football player before that and Carly Lloyd?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get there. Carly Lloyd was at the Eagles-Ravens joint practice nailing 55-yard field goals.
Yeah.
By the way,
goal bars. I immediately tweeted something about the Bears should try her out, but I guarantee you there were thousands of people at the same time that were having that exact same thought.
Apparently, she's gotten inquiries
From the Bears?
From football teams, seeing if she's interested.
Wait, you saying the Bears aren't a football team?
I don't know whether the Bears inquired. I wasn't commentating on whether or not.
Aren't they the team that really needs one?
You would think they don't seem to be able to get over the double doink.
Yeah,
they seem like it's still in their head.
I did a tour of there a few weeks ago, and they have not gotten over the double doink.
No, not at all. Has Antonio Brown found a helmet yet?
See, he's full of bleep too.
Yeah, don't make us bleep you.
Because this whole helmet thing was just him finding a way that he didn't want to go to practice.
Okay.
There's no question, because all of a sudden he's got a helmet on.
So you don't believe Drew Rosenhaus's story that he's worn this helmet since Pee Wee, and it's really hard for him to change a helmet.
2 questions I have for you.
Yes, I read that quote with a straight face and started laughing after.
No, you haven't read with a straight face. You're not doing it now. 2 questions. First of all, do you ever believe anything Drew Rosenhaus says?
No. Second question.
Second question. Is it a good idea to continue to play with the same helmet and the same technology that you played with in Pee Wee football?
I would think no, but for some reason
they're making the dumbest arguments you could possibly make. He's sitting there saying that the reason that he needs a less safe helmet is because his peripheral vision is blocked. One, he's had a year. They've been warned a year ago that they had to do this. Second of all, the league is trying to cut down on concussions, and he wants a helmet that's less safe for concussions. And 3, why is it that every single wide receiver in the NFL can play with another helmet and not have these peripheral vision? Are his eyes situated on some other part of his head than any other wide receiver?
I wasn't prepared for that question. I think that he as well will find a helmet that magically fits and be there when it starts. But he did miss the game last night on the shortened field in Winnipeg. Did you see this debacle?
Yeah, and it's even more confusing. You want to explain it first, and then I'll explain why.
So
it's
they
confusing?
played a game in Winnipeg. It was like the first game in Canada in decades. Mm-hmm. And the field had
the first NFL game.
The NFL game.
Well, actually, that's not true.
I thought
because Buffalo plays in Toronto every once in a while. We didn't even have to wait till the break for Tyler to tell you were wrong. I could just tell you you're wrong right now.
I'm glad that we could get back to this.
Go ahead. So anyway, your point on Winnipeg.
There was a huge patch of grass that sod that came out in the end zone, and so they shortened the field to 80 yards.
You know what the irony of that is, right?
What?
Canadian football is
it's 100
bigger field.
Yes,
and yet it even smaller. The NFL went there and got a smaller field.
So Packers coach Matt LaFleur was
really flustered by this whole Canadian when there's been a football game in Canada.
Was not happy and decided to sit 33 players for the game.
So I got a question for you about
who played.
What's the difference?
Nothing.
Really?
They don't put.
Did anybody notice?
Probably not.
If you had not mentioned that and it hadn't been mentioned on whatever broadcast they decided to mention on, would anybody have noticed?
Probably not.
As long as there were 11 guys showing up on each side of the ball,
really weird.
It could have been. It could have been the bus driver.
It just looked really weird for them to have the pylons at the 10-yard line. It was just so odd to look at.
It's Canadian football, eh?
I'm gonna go to your wheelhouse. Tom Brady tried to trademark a name, Tom Terrific.
We're going to our legal segment.
It didn't go very well.
Yeah.
Could you tell me what happened here?
It doesn't work. He did.
Well, that was profound. I'm glad I threw it to you.
He didn't get the trademark. The problem is, look, I'm for players being able to brand themselves because I think that people take advantage and use their names for monetary purposes, and they shouldn't be able to do that. But Tom Brady was wrong to try to do Tom Terrific because I am old enough to remember the original Tom Terrific, who is Tom Seaver. So I don't know how that works, but I think that it's too common for that to be trademarked. But can we please
You mentioned common.
All right.
To be trademarked.
No, I didn't use the word stupid, but I'm going to. Go ahead.
Can you trademark the word the?
No, you cannot trademark
now, okay,
the
I
word
want you to put your
the. And by the way, that's not how they say it. They say the.
I want you to put your I hate Ohio State because I'm a Michigan guy aside.
No, I'm not doing it.
I want you to look at this.
There is no way that comes out of my body.
I want you to tell me the actual ability to trademark the word the, separate from the fact that it's Ohio State.
You cannot trademark one of the most common words in the English language.
So
you just can't. What are they going to do if they trademark that word? Then what are they going to do? That means you try doing a sentence without using the word the.
What would your reaction be if somebody came to you and they
at Michigan
they wanted to trademark the word the? What would you say as a lawyer?
I'd ask how much of a retainer you're giving me first.
You'd give them your billable hour.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if they say, look, I'll give you $10 million, try to get this thing through, I'm all for it, but I'm going to be laughing.
But since you're not getting paid, you're totally
I did like Michigan's response, which was that they were going to try to trademark the word of. So University of Michigan. I mean, come on. What is the point in that?
I don't know, man. That's Big Ten school.
Apparently they don't teach IP in Ohio State Law School.
All right.
Here's the other thing. No, you got me started. Now I'm allowed to go.
I get it. You don't like
Ohio
State.
They call themselves the Ohio State University.
Nobody cares.
No. Well, they do. The fact of the matter is they're trying to. They say the because they want it to mean it's the only. It's not. There are lots of Ohio State universities.
So it's really smart branding by them.
It's just stupid.
Well, that's because it's Ohio State. If it was somebody else, you wouldn't think it was stupid.
I hate to tell you, I wouldn't be rambling on like this, but
Rutgers says they're the state university. People do that all the time. It's not surprising. You just can't.
But here's
Ohio
the problem
State.
with Rutgers. Outside of New Jersey, people don't know what state Rutgers is in.
Details.
If you go to the Midwest, they have no idea where Rutgers is.
I did go to the Midwest. People had no idea where Rutgers was.
Exactly.
I'm from Rutgers. Where?
I believe it's the only state that does not have a school that's called and then the state university.
Well,
right?
That's why they have their subline, the State University of New Jersey.
Yeah, because everybody gets to that part.
Miami.
I haven't seen that in the logo.
College football is going to kick off this weekend. Miami is going to play.
You left off Kenny Stills.
I did.
Why?
By accident.
Yeah.
Completely by accident. Okay. Do you think that this is appropriate? Kenny Stills has had his...
You're really having memory issues.
It's all the gambling talk. Got me flustered. My mom learned something new about me today. I'm all thrown off now. Can't do a radio show.
Do not text Jason during the show.
I can't follow along now. I'm all messed up.
All right.
So Kenny Stills has had his issues with the owner of the Miami Dolphins,
who is not Crosby,
for holding a fundraiser with the president, saying that he doesn't align with his mission.
Mm-hmm.
Been a lot of criticism. Jay-Z struck a deal with the NFL, Kaepernick, and
what is he doing?
I don't know.
Does anybody understand what I'm not saying politically. Like, what is the deal?
To hear Kaepernick and others say that he's providing them cover. That's not
but that's not what I'm asking. What is Jay-Z doing?
I don't know.
Like what is the deal that he has with the NFL?
Something with the NFL.
Thanks.
Well, you should have done your research before you came on the air.
You are a crack reporter.
You should know not to ask me these questions without prepping for them beforehand.
Sorry.
So anyway, I was prepared.
You think I'm talking to you before the show?
You don't even want to talk to me on the air. So Miami Dolphins coach Brian Flores defending his decision to play 8 consecutive Jay-Z songs during Tuesday's practice after Kenny Stills expressed disdain about the partnership over social justice.
Well, but he said that there was a motivational reason for doing it, and I believe that. Why would a coach go out of his way to annoy one of his players? What he said he was doing was he was trying to show him that you need to put away outside distractions, and that he wanted him to be able to focus on it. Now, he created an outside distraction by doing it, but that was not his intention. It was just not well thought out.
Just not well thought out.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Uh-huh.
Miami, Florida kickoff this weekend, the 150th college football season. Florida's ranked number 8, game at a neutral site in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to watch?
Yes.
It's
college football, dude.
I have a friend who is an alum of Miami, and he's going with his brother-in-law, who's a Florida alum. So they got tickets through
By the way, have they trademarked the U?
Would you stop?
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. I didn't ask you before the show.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know not to ask me things that I don't prepare
for.
So he's going to the game this weekend. Thankfully, they got...
How much is he paying for him?
Well, they got tickets through, like, the being boosters and like regular prices, but apparently the secondary market's like $700 a piece.
I don't get it
right now.
It's a first game of the year. It's not a bowl game.
It's the first time they've played since 2013.
Right.
So it's kind of a Florida rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll get into
it. It is a big rivalry down there.
It is, and they're bringing it back. But it'll be in Orlando at a neutral site. They're going to go back to home and home, I think, in 23 and 24.
It's not really a neutral site, though.
No, I like seeing games at the Swamp. And
I would be willing to bet you that it's going to be 70-30 Florida fans.
Well, probably because Florida's got the better team.
No, not just that. I think it's closer. I mean, look, I was at the I think it was whatever bowl they have, the Citrus Bowl that they have in Orlando. Of course, it was Michigan versus Florida. Florida travels well, and they're not traveling that far.
So I'm going to stick with Michigan, and I'm giving you a chance. So I told you about a story that I saw with Jim Harbaugh making comments about his dislike of the SEC and the recruiting process, and your response was, the person who wrote that's going to be on the show with us next week. So why don't you tell me the story and who's going to come on and join us?
Or we can wait till next week. But
tell me about it.
Harbaugh's apparently made some statements about the SEC coaches and whether it's hard to compete with the SEC or it's hard to beat the cheaters, as it was said.
Here's my tiny violin that I'm playing for Jim Harbaugh, who spent the sixth most amount of money on recruiting last year.
But wait, the difference is, and I'm not. This is not.
And I'm not saying this point is not valid.
Well, see, that's the thing. The problem.
He is an imperfect messenger to carry that message.
Yes, but I think
is that delicate enough? No, I don't want to go after your guy. Look,
it's not my guy.
I know you're not a fan.
Yeah, I mean,
you like Michigan, not the coach.
No, I don't dislike him. I'm not. I don't think that what he said was wrong. For years, I thought that the SEC does have an advantage. First of all, they have an advantage just because by region. Okay, more players want to go to warm weather.
In New Jersey at Rutgers, or you can go down to any team in the SEC. Where are you going?
Don't you do marketing for New Jersey?
I do. But
okay, well then everybody should want to come to the Garden State, right?
They should, but I don't have some of
palm
the
trees.
No, I don't have palm trees.
Yeah, but you have the shore, right?
But so the author of this story,
John Bacon, is coming on, and he's going to talk about his new book that's actually coming out that next week. So it'll be cool to have him on. But back to the point, the SEC does some things like, I don't know if you've heard of gray shirting. So they'll have their maximum number of recruits that they're allowed, scholarship athletes, and then they bring in these other guys who are not really on scholarship, but somehow end up being on scholarship because a certain number of players wash out or transfer, stuff like that. And it's just not right to do that. Now, as a player, I'm not sure why you would want to do that. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I don't have the mentality that an athlete does, just like I never understand how a school gets 3 of the top quarterbacks in any given recruiting cycle. But
we'll talk more about it next week when we have him join us. I want to talk baseball in a minute, but before we get there,
breaking news?
No, I want to talk about Steph Curry.
All right.
He is funding.
Not Sixers. We're going to talk Warriors.
He is funding the Howard University golf team with an endowment, with scholarships for the next 6 years that would create a men's and women's golf team at Howard, and then allow them to create an endowment to make it sustainable.
At Howard University.
I think that's pretty cool. We talk a lot about the platform that athletes are using. He apparently went to Howard to see a movie, got into a conversation with a student there, and it led him to thinking about.
Yeah, I'm taking him to a movie.
Right.
If he's gonna give me millions of dollars, I'm taking him to a movie.
I'm gonna try and get him for an interview on the show. You're gonna try and get him to take you to dinner. I don't get it, Jeff. But I think it's cool. You see all the negative stories about athletes. Here's a guy who's putting his money where his mouth is. He's giving everybody the opportunity to have the same thing, and he has used golf as a vehicle to advance himself personally and professionally, and wants to make sure that students there have the same opportunity, and I think that's pretty cool.
I agree with you. I mean, I was a little confused at first when I heard the story because I was like, why isn't he starting a team at Davidson, where he went?
Yeah.
And it turns out
Howard didn't have a golf team. And
I didn't know the
story
backstory.
Came about. He went to Howard to see a movie that was showing, and one of the students there came up and said, let's play a round of golf. They never got to play, and what he found out was the student had turned down golf scholarships from other schools to go to Howard where they didn't have a golf team, and that kind of stuck with him. And so he wanted to give other people the opportunity. I just think it's pretty cool. Good on him for going out there and using his platform for something good.
Hasn't he always? I don't understand. Look, I'm not a Warriors fan.
Always.
I don't really understand. I never understand like the haters of somebody like Steph Curry. Have you ever heard like Steph Curry do anything that you wouldn't admire just a regular citizen?
No,
for?
But like it's the same thing with LeBron, and like
I get. Look,
I don't get the LeBron.
I'm not a LeBron
parent.
hater.
He's built himself.
I think
into
off the court he does everything, but he's not a great teammate.
Again, we're not
court.
talking about the player on the court. We're talking about.
I'm talking about
the
both.
person off the court.
I'm talking about both. I don't get hating Steph Curry in any walk of life. Even he doesn't seem like a bad teammate either.
No, he doesn't.
So it just kind of baffles me.
Is your son going to get the black and white uniforms?
I'm not paying for
or
it.
all black uniforms this weekend from the Phillies that they're
wearing? In
case
he's listening, I'm not paying for it.
So he's got to get it himself.
Yeah,
does he know that?
Yeah, I think he knows that.
So Bryce Harper won't be in the lineup. Hopefully his wife is having their baby. He's on the paternity list.
Yeah, he kind of had a lame name anyway.
What was his name on?
I think it was just Harp.
You're like offended by people that don't have
no,
nicknames.
come on.
Did you have a cool
you're
nickname?
Exaggerating.
Your name is Jeff Cohen. Did you have a cool nickname?
No, but I sucked as an athlete, so why would I have a cool nickname?
So Bryce Harper will be out. Maikel Franco will be back. They lost 2 of 3 at home against the Padres.
Wasn't he Compa M or Compa F?
I hope they have his jersey ready.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know.
Maybe he could wear last year's.
Hope he can get to Miami in time.
It won't be the drab black on black jersey.
They won 2 in a row from Boston. They're doing it with smoke and mirrors in the bullpen. Bullpen went 7.5 scoreless innings in the 2 games. They threw 5.5 in relief of Drew Smyly yesterday.
Mike Marin has turned out to be a pretty good pickup.
He's pitched scoreless ball in 11 of 13 appearances after being plucked from waivers. I mean, people want to give Klentak a hard time. His whole bullpen that he assembled has gone on the injured list. He has found arms and pieced it together to put something out there.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I think that if Gabe Kapler had not been the manager, that if there was a different pitching coach, hitting coach, manager, that we wouldn't be talking about whether Matt Klentak was a good GM or a bad GM.
So are you on the bus for playoff push this week or off the bus for playoff push? You were off the bus 2 weeks ago when I asked you.
I still look. By the way, the Phillies did send out my email today asking if I wanted to buy my playoff tickets.
Did you respond? Are they going to be good for anything?
Not yet. But I'm on the bus for Charlie Manuel, and I'm on the bus that there's this reversal of fortune. And I don't know how this is going to go throughout the whole system, because keep in mind, Malley wasn't just the hitting coach for the Phillies. He was running the whole hitting show for the minor leagues. I mean, they were supposed to implement his philosophies throughout this system. And if you look at people like Alec Boehm, who basically has resisted a lot of this
Alec
stuff.
Boehm's a see-ball, hit-ball guy.
Right.
He's not a...
Well, so is Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie said, I coach hitting, I don't coach walking.
So is Harper.
So here's my problem. Why, if Charlie Manuel's motto is, I coach hitting, I don't coach walking, why are you taking your second best hitter and putting him at the top of the lineup?
You mean the guy that people want to trade now, apparently?
Yeah, let's. Where
do these things come from?
Because people overreact to everything in sports.
Like, I get it. Hoskins has struggled.
He is struggling.
He's a streaky hitter.
But why is he struggling? Do we know why he's struggling? Is he injured? I don't think so. Have they screwed with his head enough with all of this information, which is part of the problem, is they said that Malley was shoving too much information. And I'll just relate this to...
Kapler admitted that weeks ago when he said, even before he fired Malley, that we've given them too much, we're going to scale it back and just...
Yeah, but then he said the players really love Malley.
Well,
it was all in the same statement.
I didn't believe that.
Oh, so you believe the first part, but not the second part.
I think it was inadvertent honesty.
I think Harper's turnaround is 2 things. One, he always starts off slow and heats up towards the end of the year. That's just the way he has always been. And second, they were trying to mess with his swing, and you just can't do this. I could tell you the worst thing that ever happened to me playing golf, and I am not a good golfer, is when
was that you played golf?
No, is taking lessons, because anyone who takes lessons will tell you that after you finish a lesson, the next round of golf, you stand over the ball forever. You're going, okay, I got to work on this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and it drives whoever you're playing with crazy. Because you're trying to change. You can't change too much. You're talking about years of muscle memory. Swinging a bat, throwing a ball, swinging a golf club is all muscle memory. It's the reason that Tim Tebow wasn't able to become a traditional quarterback, because Urban Meyer did not have him throwing the right way through college, and that he had done it so many thousands of times that your body has a muscle memory, and it's hard to change that. You're asking players to change their swing. You can change little things at a time. You can't change everything. And so I don't know if Rhys Hoskins is salvageable this year, but I don't know how he's salvageable putting him at the top of the lineup to walk every once in a while.
That's, Kepler has gotten more fidgety with the lineup the more that they've struggled. In the first part of the season, they had a set lineup that he didn't change no matter what. And now he's kind of, seems like he's grasping to...
And can we keep Franco up here?
I don't think so.
Now that he's up, what do we need Sean Rodriguez for? Tell me what the benefit is to having Sean Rodriguez over Maikel Franco at third base.
I've asked the same question, and I don't understand.
Put Kingery back in center field.
So you would put Kingery in center field over Hazley?
I'd put Hazley in left.
You put Hazley in left?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have...
Who do you want?
Well, who would you put out in left field now?
Hazley.
You just keep him out there, and you're fine with Hazley, Kingery, and Harper as your outfield.
Yep.
With Frank. I still don't understand why Cesar's in the lineup. Anyway,
everybody hates on Cesar, and I'm not a huge fan.
I
because
don't hate on Cesar.
He has never seen a first pitch he doesn't like.
I don't hate on Cesar. He's taking up the spot that Kingery should be playing. I don't understand why we continue to try. I heard the other day on the radio, trade Hoskins so you can bring Bohm up and move him to first base. Why can't we just let anybody play the position they play? Why do we have to move people around all the time? I get optionality. I get all that stuff. Kingery is a second baseman.
Wait. So who's at third?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, why would you move Bohm to first?
The person who said that said that you would trade Hoskins for a starting pitcher,
right?
Move Bohm to first, and sign a third baseman.
Oh, that sounds easy.
That was their rationale of how you do it. First of all, I don't see a third baseman out there. Same problem they had last year.
Hey, maybe what you do is, look, I don't think you get rid of Rhys Hoskins, but if you buy the whole Rhys Hoskins is going to get us some guy to go next to Aaron Nola, okay, fine. Let's play that out. You have Alec Boehm, leave him at third, and he has become a very good defensive third baseman. And who knows? Maybe you bring Austin Listy up as a first baseman, or you bring Derek Hall, who was just named the Eastern League All-Star at the position. Maybe bring him up.
I saw you arguing with people online who want to bring Alec Boehm up later this season, who want to bring Spencer Howard up when the rosters expand.
Oh, yeah, Spencer Howard, you have no shot of that happening. He already had some arm issues earlier this year. He's not going. They're not bringing him to the major leagues. Alec Boehm has already jumped 3 levels in his first professional season. This is his first season. Okay, last year he was drafted and he played a handful of games. He has been successful at 3 levels, 2 of which are single A, then double A. And people are comparing his stats to whoever's playing third base in any given game for the Phillies. You cannot compare the statistics of somebody hitting at double A to somebody in the major leagues. Double A is a fastball league. You have to get to triple A to learn whether or not you can hit off-speed stuff.
Do you think he goes to triple A either this season? I don't see the point of him going this season at this point. Redding's in a playoff race.
There's 1 week left, 1.5 weeks left in the minor league season, and Redding is about to make the playoffs. So what's the point?
Does he skip triple A next year and start with the Phillies then?
No. Let's see what the offseason holds. I assume that they'll probably send him out. I don't think they've announced the Arizona Fall League yet. It's earlier this year, so I don't know if the Phillies make the playoffs, if they're even going to be able to do that. But we'll see what his offseason. I think they'll bring him into Major League camp.
Phillies open a 3-game series against the Marlins. They're 6-7 against the Marlins this season, the only team in the NL East to have a losing record against them.
So they did well against the Cubs and the Red Sox, and now this is the frustrating part. If they don't win them all against the Marlins, it should be frustrating.
The Mets passed them last night. They're now ahead of them.
Well, that's been going back and forth.
They continue to play good ball.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts before we say goodbye, Jeff? Say something good.
Go see the women's team. Let's get it to 70,000 next week.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. Make sure to join us next Friday night to help you start your weekend in style. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.